Hi everyone, my name's Collette Mitrega. Welcome to Colette's Thermomix Kitchen. I'm a little bit earlier tonight because dinner's going to take a couple of hours to cook in the Thermomix, and I thought I would show this technique to you. It's a dish that Andrew and I really enjoy. It's one of those classic French, almost retro kind of dishes, and I'm sure you might have tried a version of this at one time or another. And it's going to be a chicken roulade. Now, roulade in French basically means rolled, and a chicken roulade is where you take a chicken breast, you flatten it out, and then you actually stuff it and roll it. And there's a couple of ways that we can actually cook that in the Thermomix, and I will tell you those ways. But first of all, let's get on and do that beautiful roulade. So,
wait a minute, why don't you just call it chicken roll, rolled chicken?
Because it's a beautiful French dish, and roulade sounds so much nicer than rolled.
Roulade is bleeding Frenchies. we Brits don't like Frenchies.
Oh, Andrew, enough. There's a lot of lovely French customers that we have here.
Oh, sorry, I take it back. Apart from our French customers, the rest of them I don't like.
I love French food. It's my ultimate favourite.
Oh, say hi, Debbie. First cab off the rank. Hi, Debbie.
Okay, let's get going. Andrew, you need to focus because we've got a little bit to do here. So I like to take a Ziploc bag, and the reason I prefer to use a Ziploc bag to actually flatten my chicken is because it's thicker than Glad wrap. And all I'm going to do is go into the sides and then just cut down one side, cut down the other side. So I've got a nice big piece of this plastic.
We were at IKEA today. Should we not pick more of these up?
Yeah, we probably should have, because these are IKEA do really great bags, I have to say. Anyhow, so two sides. Now the other little trick that I have is I like to put a bit of water down, so literally just a little bit of water, and what this does, it enables your chicken to comfortably move around without it sticking. So chicken breast, actually, I should just look at this chicken breast and just see if there's a little bit of skin here. So all I'm going to do is just tidy this up a little bit, take that bit of skin off, have a feel, yeah, bit of bone there. The butcher's not doing his job very well, so let's get that little bit of bone out. We don't want that. Okay, that looks good. Just pop that in there.
And we don't wash our chicken, do we?
We don't wash our chicken. We'll keep that there because that looks good. So that's great. Now, in order to facilitate my flattening technique, I'm going to butterfly this. And to butterfly, all we want to do, so we always work with the skin side, although I'm not using a skinned one, often I do, skin side down. All we do is we just basically butterfly it. So we're going to just cut through all this, not all the way through, just to a little bit, like that. And then I can flatten that out, and already you can see it's a lot thinner. So, looking good. So now I can pick this up, pop this down on my mat, and close it up. But before I do, a little bit of water on top, again just to facilitate all of that flattening technique. Alright, so popping the lid over, and we're ready to start flattening. Now, I always like to start off with your mallet. You've got a smooth side and that little rough side. The rough side obviously breaks down the fibres. I like to start off on the rough side, and I'm not going to come down straight. I'm going to come down at an angle. Alright, so what I want to do is just those bits that are a little bit bigger, just get those down first. So I can see this end, you've got a little bit bigger ones.
So Meryl's inquiring, how's your ankle?
It's really sore. I'm kind of standing on one leg at the moment, so I'll show you Andrew's beautiful wrapping up. Oh.
Missed it.
He's done a great job, but he still hasn't made me a cup of tea or coffee yet.
She sprained her ankle, quite badly actually.
Yeah. Alright, so once I'm kind of roughly happy with that, I then continue that process, but flipping over to the softer side. And this is where I want to get that nice and thin. And see how I'm pushing it out?
Okay, so I have to ask why.
Why what?
Why are you bashing this with a hammer?
Because I want to be able to roll it.
So you're just making it thinner?
Yeah, making it much thinner.
Does it tenderize it?
The chicken, this is more used for tenderizing. So for steaks, for cheaper cuts of steak, etc., that's what you would actually use. hopefully good enough. Okay, and don't worry about it not being even. We don't want to waste that meat. If that does worry you, what you can actually do is to cut that off and just add it in there into the center. So we don't want it too thin in that it basically has holes in it, but I can feel now that's nice and level, nice and flat. So I'm going to take this off, flip this over and take that lid off. Now remember, we always want that kind of non-skin side up. So that's going to be fine. And if you wanted to do an extra big one, then you certainly can. And what you would actually do is to put a couple of breasts together and bang them that way. So that's looking good. That's how we want it. All right, so now I am going to add my filling. So for my filling, always start off salt and pepper, of course. Remember going from on high, Andrew? Why do we go from high?
Because it looks fancy. A bit like saying roulade rather than roll.
Because it means that it's going to cover a wider area. Rather, if you go small, it's just going to go here. If I go high, it's going to be a finer spread all over.
It looks fancy.
It looks fancy. Yeah. All right, so now I'm just going to
go
down.
The trouble is I've got pepper up my nose.
Oh, lucky you.
I hate pepper. I really don't like pepper.
So I've got some. Usually I put ham in, but Andrew decided to eat all the ham, so I had a bit of bacon. I would prefer to use like a prosciutto or something.
Excuse me, I had a ham sandwich last night. It was lovely.
I've got a little bit of spinach, and the reason I put the spinach in, I know it kind of crushes down to virtually nothing, but it's lovely to see the colour in there.
The question, where did you get your salt and pepper container from?
Oh gosh, they're still asking. That is one of my most favourite things.
It is.
It's on our mix shop. It's called the Bamboo Seasoning Box, and it's wonderful. Every kitchen needs one. I grind my own pepper. There's a recipe card on my Facebook page to tell you how to do that. And I love to use sea salt flakes when I'm cooking. And it's got a little spoon, but I just love to kind of sprinkle. So it's a fabulous thing on our mix shop. I'll put a link up for you. I know most of you have actually got that already. It's such a good thing. All right, so I'm now going to also add a bit of cheese.
Oh, cheese. What sort of cheese have you got here?
So this is Swiss cheese. We love our Swiss cheese. We love all cheese, actually.
It says Swiss. What type of Swiss cheese?
This is a not a Gruyere. I can't remember. My mind's gone blank. Mine's gone blank.
I didn't ask you what it wasn't. What is it?
Okay. And any good Swiss cheese that you love, and I can't remember what this one is.
Actually, you should have put some raclette cheese in there.
Actually, that would have been beautiful.
Well, why didn't you do it then? I love raclette cheese. And we've got some raclette cheese in the fridge.
I know. Sorry, honey. It's Swiss cheese today.
Yeah, Debbie says she loves Swiss cheese. Debbie, have you ever tried raclette cheese? R-A-C-L-E-T-T-E. It is the stinkiest cheese you'll ever get, but it is the most wonderful.
I think we've talked about raclette cheese.
Did I? Okay.
So normally what I do is I actually spread this out first.
I can't live without raclette cheese now.
And then I'm just going to pick this up because I should have actually popped this on here. That would have been a sensible thing to do, Collette. I don't know why I didn't do that, so that's okay. I'll just show you how kind of robust this is. That's fine. So basically, you should have built this up on your cling wrap. Keep distracting.
So just basically don't do what Collette does.
Do as I say. All right. So you want to make sure you've got a nice bit top and bottom. And I'm just going to move this little guy out of the way. Put this away. Need a bigger kitchen, Andrew.
Well,
right.
12 weeks time.
Yeah, I know, not long. Very excited. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can pick this up and turn it. I know I haven't got a lot of room here, but I'm going to actually start to roll this, and I want to go nice and tight. So I'm using this to go as tight as I can, and I'm actually getting my hands in there to make sure we're getting this super, super tight. Okay. Rolling that underneath, getting that nice and tight. That's perfect, that's perfect, that's good. I can feel how taut that is. Amazing how much you get from one chicken breast, isn't it? Okay, so making sure getting that really nice and tight, very, very important. Now I am going to get another bit of cling film and repeat that process. Just for safety. All right.
So this whole thing is going to go in the
yeah.
on the brain now into the sous vide.
It is.
Okay.
So I'm just going to repeat that process, starting again, keeping it nice and taut, nice and tight as I'm rolling it. That's looking good. Okay. So well sealed in there. So now I want to focus on the ends, and I'm just going to bring those ends in. I'm pushing them in with my finger, tightening them up a little bit, and I'm going to do the same here with this other one. So you want roughly about the same. Okay, and then I'm going to start to roll. So I'm going to start to roll a couple of rolls one way, a couple of rolls the other way, and then just keep kind of rolling and rolling. And you can actually roll it like along here, keeping it nice and tight. See how it's rolling? And my ends are getting nice and taut, which is exactly what I want. So you want it tight, and then once you've got it to that kind of tightness, what you're going to do is you're going to tie it off. I should have actually left a little bit more this end, but that's okay. Pulling it in, tying that end off.
It came undone a little bit the other end.
That's fine.
And you pulled it.
Focus on the other end in just a second. Okay, so in we go. Nice little knot, nice and tight. So now I'm going to focus on the other end, and I'm going to just do a couple more. Can you see how as I'm turning it's getting tighter and tighter? That's what I want. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, so now then I want to tie this end off. Exactly the same, get it as tight as you can. So if you have problems tying it, what you can do is just pop it into a Ziploc bag for extra safety. So you don't necessarily have to do these tight ends, but you can see now I've got one really beautiful roulade. And what you can actually do is you can actually make these the day before if you've got friends coming over, and just keep those in the fridge and then take them out and they're ready for you to cook. So all I'm going to do is to chop off those ends, because it's always nice to work tidy, isn't it? And then I am going to cook it. So two ways of cooking it. First way, I can actually steam this in the varoma. So what you would do is you put your varoma on top, you put about 500 grams of water in the bowl, and then you'd actually steam that for about 25 minutes, varoma temperature speed 2. Remember, we're choosing speed 2 because that's going to create more steam than if you chose speed 1. So, about 500 grams of water in your varoma, 25 minutes varoma, speed 2. But today, and the way that I love to do these is to sous vide them. And of course, one of the wonderful things with the Thermomix is that it's also a sous vide machine. So what I've got in, if you just have a, oh, we don't want you to shut down Thermomix. What I've actually got, I'll start it back up in a second. I love the fact that the Thermomix does, yeah, I forgot to put some garlic granules in, Andy, but that's okay, we don't need them. Let's put that back on.
I love garlic in those.
I know, we'll put some extra garlic in the sauce. All right, so just turning it back on. I love the fact that, you know, the TM6 has got so many fabulous safety features, one of them being, you know, if you get caught outside, it will automatically turn itself off after 15 minutes, so that's a really good feature. If you want it to, if it's not being or actually cooking or doing anything. All right, so here we go. So in here I've got, you know, about 1.8 litres of warm tap water, and I've got the blade cover in, and then I'm just going to pop my roulade in here, and I want to make sure, oh, I didn't think of that, I should have done 2 smaller ones, but that's okay. As long as it's covered by the water, so we're going to chop this one in half. As long as it's covered by the water. Later update, thank you.
So this is not a cookie dough recipe?
No, this one's not. This is one of my own, and I will put the card up. Now, because we're going to be sous videing, and I'm going to be sous videing for about 2 hours, what I need
2 hours before dinner?
Yeah, that's okay. Teaspoon
You never told me that before.
of absorbic acid, or you could use some citric acid, or you could use half a lemon, the juice of half a lemon. And we do that because we don't want anything rusting, with that long cooking time, low and slow with the sous vide function.
But it's worth it because the sous vide, the food that comes out from a sous vide is just the best. It really is the best. So that means I'll have to go raid the chippy drawer.
Right, so basically what you want to do, and oh, what am I doing? Okay, start again. Sous vide function. Here we go, sous vide. So I want to, so the temperature is still a bit low. Silly on me. So I'm going to take out my chicken roulade, stick that on the side.
Again, don't do what Collette does.
Do as I say. We have to bring this up to temperature. So what we're going to do is I want to bring it up to 65 degrees for my chicken, which will be just beautifully cooked through, so moist. 65 degrees. And it won't take very long. It might take about 5 minutes or so to bring that up to temperature. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in, and then I'm going to cook that for 2 hours in that sous vide function.
That is going to be delicious.
Yeah, it would be amazing. So that is a chicken roulade, and you can stuff them with whatever you want. Think of things like caramelized onion. Oh, my mind's gone blank now, but there's all sorts of lovely things.
Raclette cheese.
Raclette cheese that you can actually stuff them with, and it's a great way of using leftovers and making something
Garlic.
fancy. So sometimes if we have people over, I'll do a couple of these nice roulades, and I might steam them if I want like lots of big ones, and then they're beautiful sliced on a plate, and you could actually serve them with a beautiful like romesco sauce, or a really rich tomato sauce would be beautiful. Tonight I'm going to be shortly putting on some lovely herb and garlic roast potatoes, and I'm doing a lovely vermouth jus to go with that and some classic French peas. So that's going to be our dinner tonight. So,
And any difference to the TM5?
so the TM5, you can't go for 2 hours, but you can go for 1 hour. So you don't have a sous vide function in there. What you'd have to do is go for an hour or 99 minutes and come back, reset it and do it again. So 65 degrees at speed 1 would be fine, but you still need that blade cover in. So normally, actually, guys, you know, you could do this half that size and have 2 smaller ones going in. I got a bit carried away tonight, but that will be fine. That will still sit in there absolutely beautifully. So just to recap, Ziploc bag, a little bit of water down, flatten your chicken, don't forget to butterfly it first, stuff your chicken on cling film, roll it up really tightly so it's really tight. You can rest it overnight in the fridge for tomorrow if you prefer, and then once you've done that and wrapped it up, 2 ways of cooking, either in the Varoma, 25 minutes, Varoma temperature, speed 2, or you can actually sous vide it for 2 hours at 65 degrees. And the reason why we love to sous vide it is because it is so moist and so tasty. My definite favourite way to cook.
But it just retains all the juices and the flavours. Nothing leaks out at all.
So good, yeah. So, and it's also, this is also great served with like a really like mushroom sauce or a mushroom cream. There's so many different things that you can serve this roulade with, or roulade with. Okay, have I explained everything?
I think so.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, I'll put a recipe card up for this one for you later on tonight. Thank you,
Time
my
for a drink,
dear.
you've earned it.
Yes, cheers. Andrew's given me a nice drink. I still haven't got a tea or coffee from him. I have a lovely cider, I think, tonight.
Deciding it.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much. I will see you again later, and I'll put up a lovely picture of our dinner tonight. Cheers. Say goodbye, Andrew.
Quick question. Angela asked, can you use the first blade cover, not the peeler one?
Absolutely. Yep. I often will use that first one, whichever one I grab first. So the only time you really do need to use the metal one is if you're peeling. The first blade cover is absolutely fine for all your sous vide work. Good question.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Have a
Bye-bye.
good evening. Thanks, everybody.